If you missed today's game, Carolina just shattered their Eastern Conference curse, and they did it in absolutely ruthless fashion. We're talking 12-1 this postseason, closing out Montreal at home, and a locker room moment so emotional it stopped the broadcast cold. Freddy Anderson playing through heartbreak. KAJ Miller holding his newborn on the bench. And now, a Stanley Cup Final showdown with Vegas that already feels like a 7-game heavyweight fight. The Canes are back. Buckle up.
Carolina's conference final curse is over. They have simply been the most dominant team this postseason, and they will head to the Stanley Cup Final with a playoff record of 12-1. Of course, that one loss after an 11-day layoff, that won't be a problem this time. Cup Final starts Tuesday night, right here in that building, in front of these fans. We're outside right now, and I have absolutely no plans on leaving anytime soon. They waited a long time for this, guys. 2006, they made it to the Stanley Cup Final. They heard all about how they couldn't get past this Eastern Conference Final, and here they are. And they do it, as I mentioned, Anson, in a fashion that leaves absolutely no doubt.
Yeah, the first couple of series, they closed it out on the road. Now doing this in front of their home crowd so the fans can see the trophy. But Viz, I don't think there is any coincidence behind Coach Rod Brind'Amour having his top line on the ice late in the hockey game when Montreal Canadiens pulled their goalie. You know, he needs to have those guys feeling really good about themselves. And yes, it's an empty net goal, with Jarvis scoring, Aho getting assists, Svechnikov getting assists. Those guys are going in with a lot of confidence versus the Vegas Golden Knights.
Same thing, getting that power play goal. You need everything going, and they're going to have to be at their best if they want to beat Vegas. Like, this is going to be an unbelievable series in the Stanley Cup Final. I don't know what your guys' predictions are, but just talk about two well-oiled machines, 4 lines, 6D. I mean, we talk about Anderson a lot. Remember at the beginning of the year when Bussy had the net and he went on that insane run? So from top to bottom, just two unbelievably coached organizations who have tremendous players.
Yeah, I think it was just a real lesson in how do you win a Eastern Conference Final championship. You know, they came out flat in Game 1, and Montreal, give them credit, played extremely well. We got into Game 2, it was a close game. They end up winning in overtime. It was a big win. And you could just sense it. We started to feel it in Game 3 in Montreal, where Montreal was feeling the effects of those two 7-game series. And my hat goes off to them, Marty St. Louis, and the job he did, because they were tremendous. And it's hard to win a Game 7. And they won 2 games on the road in Game 7. But coming in Game 2, 3, 4, and 5, you could just sense it in the building. Carolina got stronger and better, and they just kept coming in waves. And they just threw the guys over the boards, and their rotation stayed the same. And that's what'll be interesting in the final. Vegas has confidence also, and they're just going to rotate their forward lines and their 6D, and it'll be fun to watch because there won't be the matchups that we saw like in this series. There'll be more like, all right, we're throwing this line on and let's get the flow going. So it's going to be a heck of a Stanley Cup Final. 2 of the best teams at this time of the year are going to play in the final, no question about that. So it's great news for the game of hockey itself.
And it's not always the case you have the 2 best teams playing, but a lot of times it's about timing.
Yeah.
When we talk about going into these playoffs, this is the window right now for Carolina Hurricanes, the way they're built, the way they're playing, and also how the Eastern Conference looks. We felt like this is a huge opportunity for this team. And man, go 12-1, and the way they've been winning, it hasn't even been close. It's so impressive how they, as a team, have played throughout these 13 games. 1 bad game. Other than that, it's been on point in all aspects of the game.
And with Mark Stone coming back in that last game too, both teams are healthy too, guys.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than watching a Stanley Cup Final and the other teams both teams have some of their best players missing. It looks to me like both teams are pretty healthy right now, so that sets up for a great Game 1.
Well, I like the idea of both teams healthy, both teams playing to the height of their powers. And you mentioned just the idea, right? Both teams being confident, getting the right guys going. And part of that, Wayne, we heard that great interview that Jackie did with Freddy Anderson. And
Unreal.
Obviously, Freddy going
Yeah.
through a lot. As we look at a great moment there.
You know, I think sometimes we forget that athletes are human, and you know, Claude was so close to Freddie, and you know, it's one thing when you're a centerman or a defenseman, you rely on your other guys that are on the ice. You're a goaltender, and you got things on your mind, especially what transpired the last 48 hours. It's difficult, and it's very emotional. I'm sure he was feeling a lot of emotions, and I'm so happy the way he played tonight, but more importantly, I'm so happy the way he played this entire series. He came back from game one where the team kind of laid an egg, and he just got stronger and stronger. And we talked about in game 3 and 4, I was voting for KAJ Miller. And right now I got to say, I got to throw Anderson back into that pile because he was stellar the last 2 games.
Can we go back to that image? KAJ Miller's on the bench right now.
That's incredible.
With his baby.
Yeah.
Like he was getting emotional too.
Very emotional. I mean, what a picture. I mean, this is what hockey's all about here, boys.
He carried everything in this series, even the baby.
Born May 2nd, that is Cashton.
It's incredible. I mean, this is awesome, guys.
And I mean, look at the deep breaths and the tears. It's really incredible, Hank.
Yeah, you know what? For players, a lot of times it's about finding the right fit. You know, he had a great start in New York. Last year or so, he didn't really reach his full potential. He comes down here, and it just looks like he's so comfortable. We talked about it the other night. As a defenseman, too, yes, you're looking to have all these different skills in your toolbox, but a lot of times it takes a little time for everything to click. And you watch him play right now, everything is working in his game.
Even going back to that Ehlers interview, we talked about the family component to coming here and what it's meant. And you just touched on the fact that KAJ Miller, it feels like maybe New York gave up on him a little bit, where clearly they saw an opportunity here in Carolina. Let's get this guy. We believe in him. He's got all the tools, and maybe under a great system and a great coaching staff, we can unlock this guy's potential. And I mean, you guys have been raving about him, and I got to watch this guy play firsthand this series. He did everything that they could ask.
Yeah, and why would you want a 6'5" defenseman that can skate and has a reach
And has good hands.
and has good hands?
Good offensive instincts, and look at the moment he showed.
Oh, just incredible.
Yeah.
Unreal. It's like he's playing for a higher purpose, right?
Yeah. How soon until you have Cashton on skates?
And
Probably tomorrow.
Now the trick is, you know, you don't want to get too excited because
Right.
it is just the conference championship. So you got to put those emotions, enjoy the night, put those emotions in check. I was curious to see, as I always am, whether they're going to touch the trophy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see the trophy because it was the most people I've ever seen in a team picture. I think they set a record tonight.
I think Torts' quote was, you know, first 3 rounds you're playing in the playoffs. When you get to the Stanley Cup, you're playing for the cup, and it's completely different. And like you said, Wayne, you can't get too ahead of yourself. You're at home, everybody's super excited, but ultimately they set out for 1 goal this year, and this is going to be their first time back to the finals after all they've been able to accomplish to get over this hurdle of finally winning the Eastern Conference Final. Now your reward is going against a juggernaut from the West. So they have their work cut out for them. It's going to be a nice celebration tonight, but I would imagine it's going to be a nice reset tomorrow. And you know, Wednesday will be here before we know it.
You keep saying that, and I get it. The juggernaut from the West, and I know they swept Colorado, but Colorado was banged up, right? McCarr at the beginning, McKinnon late in the series. Shouldn't the Carolina Hurricanes be walking into this final thinking we're the juggernaut from the East? Like, we're the team.
I think they like being the underdog, Hank, and I think they are.
Both teams should feel extremely well about how they're playing, how they got here. And that's what's going to make this series so interesting, because you have 2 teams coming in hot.
But how can you think they're the underdogs? They won the East all year.
Not a chance.
They're 12-1.
All right.
I understand what you're saying. Vegas is really good. I don't know who's favored, but I wouldn't say Carolina's an underdog. Exactly. They're a really good hockey club also. You got 2 well-coached teams. You got 2 really good teams, 2 goaltenders that are playing really well this time. Their top players on Carolina are playing well, and the top guys in Vegas are playing well. You look at Carlson coming back. He looks solid, and Eichel and Marner, and their defense is big. This is going to be a 7-game. I think it'll be a 7-game, knock them down, really good hockey series.
2 heavyweights for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 of the best teams right now are playing in the final.
How much value do you guys put on experience and guys who have lifted Lord Stanley? Like that's kind of where I guess I give slight edge to Vegas. They got the McNabbs, Theodore, who's been there, Stone, Jack Eichel, and there's a few more guys in that locker room. I guess I just think that with the way that they've been playing, their penalty kill being the way that it's gone, I guess special teams in general, goaltending. I guess I feel towards Vegas being the favorite.
Well, Vegas thinks they can win, obviously, and they think they can win at any point in time, and they can win in any building. But I tell you one thing, you play all season for one reason, to get home ice advantage. This might come down to that Game 7, and if I'm playing in a Game 7, I want it to be at home. You see the energy in the building, and I'm not saying Vegas can't win the 7th game on the road, but if I have my druthers, I'm taking the home game.
And they won the East with a lot of their top defensemen out of the lineup. Gostisbehere missed time, Miller missed time, Slavin missed time, and this team didn't miss a beat here, guys.
No.
You know, and back to your point, Gretz, about all the guys with the team picture, it felt like a Stanley Cup picture, didn't it? But it also speaks about how much the whole organization it plays a big role into this team's success. And Liam, you've talked about Rod Brindamore fostering this family atmosphere here in Carolina, and that picture just about summed it up.
Yeah, I think you start with KAJ Miller and maybe on the bench, then you see the whole team out there, and we've seen Rod Brindamore with his kid on the ice skating around. Came up here earlier. It has that feeling here, and I think there is this feeling that this is their time. Although I will say, Vegas thinks that every single year, and rightfully so. Listen, a lot of guys have contributed to this. In the last couple of years, they added players that have helped push them over the edge. Taylor Hall, certainly one of those guys, and he spoke with Jack.
Well, Taylor, in a couple of days, you're going to be playing in the Stanley Cup Final. Has that sunk in for you yet?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a step in the direction we want to go, obviously, and that's what we set out to do. We've been playing really well the last 3 or 4 games, and we know we're going to have our hands full, but right now we're enjoying this. This is awesome. My wife here, some friends here, just kind of taking that all in. It's a great moment.
What has this run meant to you personally? Obviously, the second line, you guys are clicking on all cylinders. You've been a huge part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I just told Stank and Blaker, it's been so fun being on their line and being a part of this run. It's not finished, obviously, but it's been incredible. They're great players, good kids, and like I said, one more round to go.
This has clearly been a very emotional 48 hours for Freddy Anderson. He played unbelievable this entire run. What can you say about how you guys have supported him through it?
He's a dog. He's so calm in the net. I know that's a broken record, but in the playoffs, that's really, really comforting when he's the guy back there, and he deserves this so much. He's a leader for us, even though he doesn't say a lot. He's the best. He's the man.
What can you say about what it took for him to kind of get through this game in particular tonight?
Yeah, I can't imagine what he's going through. That's a really sad time for everyone involved. You know, if you're ever going through anything, it's important to reach out to people, and that's a prime example. But we love Fred. We're behind him, and I'm sure he's doing this with a heavy heart.
Well, that was very well said. Thank you again. Congratulations and good luck in the final.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, what Freddy Anderson has done under the circumstances, nothing short of remarkable. Taylor Hall has been just brilliant during this postseason. Wayne Gretzky, on the other hand.
I knew it!
We thought you were immune to the
confirmed.
jinx, but you said the word.
Yeah, I got to admit, I'll take a bullet for that one. That was my, sorry, Hank, that was my fault.
Oh, man.
No shutout, but Freddie does get the win. And by the way, he has stopped 41 of the last 42 shots.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing brilliant hockey.
Blame the goalie, don't blame me.